It doesn't need to be something life-changing. Sometimes it's the small things that make a memory unforgettable. Maybe this is the magic of the Gambia, the smallest country on Africa's mainland, a country of ferries, water, and lush green mangroves. We are exiting Senegal soon, and on the way through Senegal there have actually been quite a few police checkpoints. But the interesting thing is that opposite to Mauritania or the west of Sahara that we have been to before, these police checkpoints here in Senegal, they don't really stop us. They only stop the locals and just let us pass through. We realized that we got closer to the border of the Gambia when we approached the so-called Sin Saloum Delta, and all of a sudden the road ended abruptly. Is there a ferry? Oui? It comes there or where?
Là.
Là? Là-bas?
C'est le retour.
Retour. A bunch of people just entered small boats with their motorcycles, but we were told that with our big bikes we have to wait for the real ferry. Enthusiastically, we entered the ferry with the locals after having waited for about an hour. On the ferry. Once on the ferry, it turned out quickly that our ferry was about to break all speed records. When we came to the place I spotted from the air on Google Maps, it turned out that it was the landing stage of a hotel. So we spoiled ourselves with a nice lunch before we finally reached the border of the Gambia. After our lunch break, we did border business like usual. So we just arrived at the border of Gambia and Senegal, and behind me you can see the border stretch, and Senegal border was quite fair, and the rest we will have to see. Here is my easy explanation on how to cross a West Africa border in 6 steps. First, find a nice officer who can't read your passport because he needs glasses. Second, become friends with that officer because your birthday is nearly on the same date. 1986?
I am 7th of September 1974.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Third, and most important, pass by the prison cell without being arrested. Fourth, Don't pay for a visa or a stamp if your nationality doesn't require one. Be smart and inform yourself before entering a new country. 5th, get vehicle documents stamped at customs. 6th, when done with step 1 to 5, find a shop with a freezer. Okay, that's where the magic happens if you're after a sweaty day. It's in the freezer. Gambia is often referred to as the Smiling Coast. It is the smallest country within mainland Africa and is surrounded by Senegal. At its widest point, the Gambia is still less than 50 kilometers wide. The borders of the country are mirroring the meandering of the Gambia River. 11% of the ground of the country is covered by water, and a big part of the rest by lush green mangroves. We are in the Gambia now and we're heading straight to the capital Banjul. And from the next town that is called Barra, we will have to take a ferry over the famous Gambia River to Banjul. And that's very great because actually that's like sightseeing. I mean, Gambia basically only consists of its river, and therefore being on a boat on the Gambia River is really a must.
I'm slipping away, so don't let me go now. The love is exceptional, it fills me up, it's out of control.
The ferry did not depart according to the schedule of the passengers, but according to the schedule of the fishermen and their helpers, who carried their catches of the day on and off the ferry in big baskets.
I'm in love, yeah.
Now we're at the ferry of Gambia River, and if you look behind me you can see how big it is. You actually think it's the ocean because you can't see the other side properly.
There's a world inside my head, I get lost in it from time to time. No one has a spare key, the only one is inside of me.
We crossed Banjul and stayed overnight in a famous overlander camp, Sukuta Lodge. Mornings in Gambia, we actually only stayed here for one night. We stayed so short that I didn't even get used to the official language being English and not French. Bye. Thanks for joining the journey through the Gambia. The next episode will take us to Guinea-Bissau, where we joined a political rally for the presidential election and our visa issues from Dakar continued. Give me a thumbs up and drop a comment if you like this episode, but not if you have an issue with the camera angle. These videos were initially recorded for Instagram stories, so there is nothing I can do about the angle before I go on my next journey. Looking forward to see you guys in Guinea-Bissau.